What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? Happy Monday, everyone. I hope all you beautiful people are having a great day so far. I know I'm getting on a little bit late, but like I said, I hope everybody's having a great start to their week. Thank you for joining me as always on this beautiful Monday. As always, it's your host, your boy, Jayson Estrera, and welcome to another episode of the Jayson Estrera Show, where we talk about basketball, sports, and any topic that comes our way as accurate as possible. Now, for today, we saw the Boston Celtics take care of home court last night against the Dallas Mavericks in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. But we do have some questions regarding who the best player is for the Boston Celtics, and are there any good takeaways for the Dallas Mavericks? Also, we have to talk about some Caitlin Clark news. She got snubbed from Team USA, and then she dropped a 30-piece on, what was that? I think Saturday or Friday night. But first, speaking of rings, we got to start with James Harden potentially getting his very first ring. This is some exciting news, man. I can't even lie to you. But the idea of James Harden potentially getting a ring, come on. That shit kind of loud. His face, dog. Yo, no way, bro. No way. Oh, hell no. Okay, we need to see that. We need to see that one more time, bro. We need to see that one more time. Look at this. He said, oh, wait, what? Look at this motherfucker, bro. He said, I wasn't even going to ask you to this shit. You said yes. He said, I didn't even want you here. Now you caught the motherfucking flower. Obviously, James Harden is yet to get a ring, and it seems like this might be the closest he's going to ever get, because he's on the Clippers, who have had bad luck. We'll talk a little bit about that series tomorrow, but about the Clippers series tomorrow. But this is fucking hilarious, man. Like, how you end up in that predicament at Rajon Rondo's wedding, and of course it's James Harden. Like, and this is like. And this is my message to you, James. This is why you need to start playing defense. Because had you been playing defense in that moment, you could have veered her away from that. But, hey, kind of like in the NBA, you just saw it happen. And that's all we got, folks. So, moving on. We saw Caitlin Clark get snubbed from Team USA, and this is what both her and her coach had to say about the situation.
The roster come out?
Yeah, I think I'm excited for the girls that are on the team. I know it's the most competitive team in the world, and I know it could have gone either way, of me being on the team, me not being on the team. So, I'm excited for them. I'm going to be rooting them on to win gold.
What was your level of disappointment not hearing your name on the roster?
Honestly, no disappointment. Like, I think it just gives you something to work for.
Yep.
It's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there, and I think it's just a little more motivation.
She got the call on the bus, and she texted me to let me know, and I just tried to keep her spirits. The things she said was because they woke a monster, which I thought was awesome.
I'm gonna say this every single time. Someone get that woman a fucking cough drop. Jesus Christ. like impersonating Doc Rivers is not the way you want to go. I'm so sorry, Christy Sides, but obviously we saw Caitlin Clark get snubbed from the USA women's basketball team. Now, if we look at the roster, excuse me. The roster is Ariel Atkins, Shakira Austin's. Yeah, somebody needs to go get her a cough drop ASAP, brother, because she sounds like Doc Rivers. It's good, Elijah. If we see this roster, now, most of this team, in terms of just name, looks like they should be on it. But when we start looking at players like Aaliyah Boston, who's her teammate, I think she kind of teeters. She's there to be a big for the team. But you could argue either way. For me, the bigger name is Brittany Griner. And I guess I was under the impression that she wouldn't make the team because of all the talk around Kyrie Irving and the men's USA team, and the fact that he wouldn't make it on the team because of all of his, off the court, quote unquote, issues. And here we have Brittany Griner, who was literally like she was in prison basically, and she gets to be on the team. Yeah, so I thought that was a little bit ironic because, obviously she's going to be a topic when they're there. They're probably going to ask her if she brought her pen with her or not, and all that good shit. But I guess for me, the bigger thing is when you start seeing names like Ariel Atkins, who I'm not super familiar with this woman, and you start looking at a player like this is her name, Shakira Austin, and you just start comparing how their stats look compared to Caitlin Clark, and you're just sitting here wondering, like, how the fuck? So, here, first things first. Here, let's take a look at this. Right, and I'm gonna start with this part, right? Because your Ariel Atkins is a guard, 5'10" guard. And no, it's not Shakira Austin. Oh, well, I did say that. Oh, because, well, for me, you're looking at there's two players on the USA team that are on the worst team in the WNBA. A 2-year player and a 6-year player. Ariel Atkins is averaging 13.2 on 36.3 shooting and 31.3. I agree. It would do wonders. And honestly, Elijah, it looks like she's about to start killing the league right now. We'll get over that in a second. But when you look at numbers, Caitlin averages more points. Here, let's just throw Caitlin Clark's numbers in here, bro. She averages, Ariel Atkins averages 4.1 rebounds and 3.3 assists, right? Clark averages 16.8 points on 37.3% field goal shooting, 32.7 from 3, averages 5.3 rebounds and 6.3 assists. Atkins shoots worse than her and averages less rebounds and assists than her. Less of everything. Oh, and by the way, Caitlin Clark is taller. Hello? Are we good, bro? What the fuck? Like, how did she make it on? How did she make it on? Am I bugging? Like, how did she make the team? Like, genuinely. And then when you look at a Shakira Austin, 11.7 points, 6.8 rebounds, 39.4% from the field as a big. I mean, there's already, if you're going to keep Brittany Griner, you don't really need her on the team, bruh. Like, you really don't. Like, where's the other? You have Aaliyah Boston already, who's playing better than her. You have Breanna Stewart and Aja Wilson. Like, you don't need a Shakira Austin. But, you know, they went in that direction, and like, the only thing that Caitlin is doing much worse is obviously the turnovers, but off her game alone, there's Ariel Atkins, Shakira Austin, and you could argue Aaliyah Boston, her teammate, that she's been playing better than. And then Brittany Griner, when it comes to controversy, when you're comparing a woman that's had controversy versus the most popular female basketball player, to me, that's a no-brainer. So you're looking at potentially 4 names on that list that she could have gone in over. And now let's just look at the last part. She's the most popular female basketball player in the world. And you're not going to have her on the stage against the world. It doesn't make sense to me. It's not like she's currently a college player. It's not like she hasn't played a dribble of the WNBA yet. I just went over the stats. If you don't even want to talk about this part, which is the popularity, we just went over stats. She's more popular than anyone. It doesn't make sense why you wouldn't put her on the team. She don't even have to play a whole lot. But just think about the eyes that she would put on everyone else. On Aja Wilson, on Kelsey Plum, on Brittany Griner. On everyone would benefit from this, but for whatever reason, they just went the other way. I actually think it would have been really cool to see her and her teammate Aaliyah Boston on the team together. At least she has someone there that's kind of with her. But I don't get it. I don't get it. She could have learned a lot from Diana Taurasi. She could have learned from all of these people and brought it back to her team and went and, you know, go and do their thing. And yeah, it's puzzling to me. Obviously, she's supposed to say what she said, which is that it could have gone either way, but I don't even see how, because these other players are also young, so you can't even use the experience excuse, right? Aaliyah Boston is like a second year. What is she? Yeah, she's a second year player. like what are we talking about here? Ariel Atkins obviously has had, 6 years in the WNBA, but Shakira Austin is only 2 years in the league. So I don't know. It's puzzling to me how she didn't make it. And, with that, with what had happened, right, she responded in probably the best way that you can.
And Eric Thibault.
Right, and probably the best way. So let's take a look at this. Oh no, that's the wrong game. That's the wrong game. She balled the fuck out too. Holy shit.
Clark trying to get by the Mystics defense strong. Quickly up the floor is Mitchell. Beautiful find from Clark. Remarkable, but it's not minute rice. You gotta let them marinate. Let them grow in the game. Picked up now by Dee Richards as she's into the ball game. Richards on the floor. Clark, the step back three just below the logo. Drills. Clark on the move. Has Smith running with her. Gets it to her on the move. Atkins with it now. To the corner. Richards. Mitchell posting it up on Richards. Thought about it. Clark still with it. The kick. Smith will call her number. And Clark pulls off that straightaway for Washington. Going at Clark, quickly gets to the hoop, up and under. There's the pitch back action, trying to get Ariel Atkins downhill to her strong discussion in the halftime locker room. Samuelson, the three. That one going for the Mystics on the offensive end, now into double figures with 12. Getting a bucket, okay? And if you don't find her early, she's gonna make you pay, and that's what Eric Tebow told us, right? Making them pay right there for the good of the squad. Van Loo, the no-look behind that. Clark, pull-up three. That one.
Wow.
Showing out.
Bruh.
Clark. Here's Hines out. Spin, comes back middle, hanging. Count the bucket.
Yo, this Washington Mystics team sucks, bro. Oh, my God. They suck.
Crossover, low dribble, pull up, Jay.
Isn't going to be able to see Katie Lou after last night's game, so today, really the first time they're seeing her.
Man. What are we doing?
Isolation here for Mitchell. Clark, a high school player, and she said she didn't need to do all that at Iowa, so trying to find it on the professional level as well. Mitchell with the steal and the finish. Van Loo, the three, gets it. Samuelson, the three, that falls. Atkins.
So we obviously saw the Indiana Fever take the 85-83 win behind Caitlin Clark's 30-piece. She had 30 points, shot 8 of 15 from the field, 7 of 13 from 3, 7 of 8 from the line, with 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, and granted, she did have 8 turnovers. Kelsey Mitchell added in 16 points, 6 of 13 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, added in 4 assists and 3 steals as well. On the other side for the Washington Mystics, we saw Stephanie Dolson get 19 points, go 7 of 10 from the field, 5 of 6 from 3, with 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block shot. Now, we were just talking about the counterpart to Caitlin Clark, Ariel Atkins, who, you know, is their guard. She had 16 points, shot 7 of 21 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3, had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals with only 3 turnovers. So if there was a way to, you know, I don't know if the timing, I want to say that the news came after this game, but the optics of it coming within days of each other, within 24 hours of each other, the news of her not being there in this game, it's great, right? She obviously outplayed one of the people who I thought she should have gotten over, which is Ariel Atkins. And I guess this is why the Washington Mystics are the worst team in the WNBA. And that's because they didn't get the memo that Caitlin Clark likes to shoot going to her fucking left. I don't know if like you guys didn't get the memo, but I guess that's why y'all are 0-12. But when she's going to her left, that's when she likes to shoot. So maybe don't let her go left. And she had 7 threes. She shot great. I mean, she was pretty comfortable the entire time. And you know, when you look at when you look at how she's able to extend the defense, and I could kind of see where they've been adding, I feel like, some more actions for her, to be honest with you. More off the ball stuff. This play right over here. This play right over here, obviously shooting to her left. Play right before that, also shooting to her left. The first 3 that she made in the game, shot to her fucking... I mean, like, bro, like, what are we... Are y'all good, bro? Like, she go shoot. Like, it's so funny. Like, bro, she been doing this shit since college. But yeah, over here, yeah, shoots to her left over here, I'm pretty sure. Yep. I mean, you guys gotta know what's coming. But if you let her get loose, her and what's her name? Alyssa Thompson. Yeah, she been balling lately. Or Alyssa Thompson. Yeah, she been playing really well lately. So kudos to her, but they've been adding in a lot more of these sets. Look at how far she extends the defense. This is like some NBA shit right now. Now they need to start figuring out how to not have these 3 people close this lane out so much, so that there are driving lanes for her. Because how the fuck are you gonna drive in this shit? But she is. Look at how spread the floor is right now. So the future is coming to the WNBA, and it's coming sooner than later. Like, that was just stupid, bro. I don't know what the fuck you thought she was about to do. But anyway, I guess for me, the question now is, has Caitlin Clark figured out the WNBA game? And the short answer is obviously not. Obviously not. However, I think she is starting to figure out how to more effectively get her shots off, while the team is also implementing more stuff for her to get easier shots. Everything isn't just off the dribble, like a bop game. Because, we see that in the NBA all the time. Like Luka, for example, and we're going to talk about it later. And Kyrie, if you have to dribble into a step back 3 every single time, your percentages is just not going to be very good. Right? But now when we start getting some more off the ball stuff, and we start, she starts getting just catch and shoots, one dribble, step back, like, it's a lot less effort. Now you get to focus in a little bit more on the shot. Defenders are off balance, and she's able to get the shot off. I think she's also understanding the very simple concept of, when players are very aggressive and physical against you, yeah, I mean, it's like a great player, right? And it's something that all great players figure out, and all great offensive players figure out. When players are being aggressive against you and super physical, to use that against them. Right? Now she's figuring out, like, if you notice her, there was a couple times where when she drives to the right, she's driving really hard to the right. And I think here's one. Let me see right here. Is it this one? Yeah, that's right. It's this. Yep. I agree, bro. And like in this play, for example, like, just look at how much space she just created, because just dribbling super hard, right? Not being too fancy with the ball, just getting right to her shot pocket and getting into it. I think she's being a lot more concise. And obviously she'll probably have like a bad game next game, and everybody be all up in arms, and it is what it is. Thankfully for them, to your point, Elijah, she doesn't have 82 games that she has to play. She has 42 games, which isn't that much more than what she was playing in college. So it's really just a matter of just understanding the game better, figuring out where she can her spots where she can get her shots off, getting stronger and dealing with the physicality more. And I expect to see more games of this, and I expect her efficiency to get even better. Because like I said, this is probably going to be the worst she's going to look, if we're being honest. And if this is the worst she's going to look, that's a real scary concept for the WNBA, right? If this is the worst she will be, that's real scary for them. And you know, I hope that they're ready for that shit. Now, moving on. We saw it last night. We saw how it went down. The Boston Celtics take game 2 in the NBA Finals. And I gotta admit, man, like that there were moments where it felt like I was like, oh shit, Dallas might have this, but it felt pretty comfortable. Now, the Boston Celtics win 105-98, and it was behind Drew Holiday, who had 26 points, went 11 of 14 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a block. Now, Jaylen Brown followed that up with 21 points, 8 of 15 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 4 of 4 from the line, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals with 6 turnovers. And Tatum had only 18 points, 6 of 22 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3, 5 of 6 from the line with 9 rebounds, 12 assists, a steal, and 3 turnovers. For the Dallas Mavericks, Luka had himself a 30-point triple-double. 32 points, 12 of 21 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, 4 of 8 from the line, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists, with 4 steals and 8 turnovers. Kyrie Irving only had 16 points, went 7 of 18 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, to go with 2 turnovers. So let's relive a little bit of what happened with last night's game.
Clippers and the Thunder. Doncic gets inside, falling away. First shot is up and good.
Dunk to Gafford and Lively, and the corner threes from P.J. Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. All guards in the NBA in blocks this season.
Irving finds some room, nails it out, lost it, trying to get it back, throws it, but right to Brown. Jaylen Brown goes right past Doncic and the slam.
Wow.
Luka, so effective at those long push-ahead passes. That's been an effective weapon for them.
Falling away.
Yo, that's
shot
a fucking
is
move and a half. Holy
shit. To
shit.
start here in game 2. Doncic, he tries and nails it.
Porzingis get a little extra on it. Meanwhile, he's guarded by Kyrie Irving. Shoots over, score.
30s, so strong, so tough, and a very good two-point shooter.
Tatum has Kyrie Irving and Brown cuts.
Mavericks weak side defense. You put 2 to the ball on the baseline side, you better guard the basket.
Doncic. Tatum drives past Irving, gets in, scoop layup. Jaylen Brown, Derrick Jones guarding him, nice duck and under.
Wow.
They are all tied up with 3.5 to go in the second. A striking difference as you would expect. Doncic, 3-pointer over Porzingis, puts it in. Brown drives on Doncic, shuts him off. Brown back up top, good ball movement. Tatum off the bounce. Holiday wide open 3 in the corner, got it.
To close out on that Derrick White 3.
Doncic falling away.
Yeah, this guy's unreal, bro.
Holiday trying to chase Luka Doncic. Horford helps. Lively gets inside and throws. Green and Tatum fighting. Tatum doubled. Nice pass. Holiday layup is the highest winning percentage of anybody in the NBA. Trying for his second title. Doncic. Doncic double team. Stripped and stolen. He's upset. Thought he was fouled. Here's Tatum, back to Brown for the slam.
Turnaround jump shot, he's 6 for 18.
Irving gets inside again. 4 on the 24. White sees that, has to hoist up a 3-pointer. And it's...
My God.
Holiday to Horford. Holiday a 3. Bang! Doncic gets inside, stops, trying to get some
That's
contact.
easy.
Yes, set up by Doncic. Tries again. Tatum to the rim. Shot blocked. Derek Jones with the rejection. Here's Irving. Washington drives. Blocked by White. Oh, what a block from Derek White.
Wow.
On the drive. Now to Brown. 6 to shoot. Jaylen Brown into the paint. Layup. He banks it in.
So we saw the Boston Celtics take care of home court last night, and it was really a missed opportunity for the Dallas Mavericks. Tatum didn't have a great game. Brown didn't have a great game. And there were definitely opportunities. And Boston has sustained this idea of we can man up for most of this game. Let Luka do his thing. Don't let Kyrie get off. And they don't have another ball handler or playmaker. And we've seen Boston really dictate this series. Kind of like how they've been doing for most of the playoffs, really. This series looks similar to how the rest of their series have looked. It's been pretty comfortable. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself because Dallas does have Luka and Kyrie, and no disrespect to any of these guys, but Nembhard and Halliburton aren't those guys. Siakam ain't those guys. Mitchell and Garland aren't like... Boston hasn't played anyone like these two. And Luka has been spectacular. Like the shots that shot that he hit on Tatum, I mean, can we just take a look at this shit? He hit him with the hezzy right here. He hezzied the spin before, like, but again, everything is difficult. Nothing is easy. Like, look at the shot that he got to hit in this situation. Like, everything is tough. He just got hot. And for the Boston Celtics, you take that, right? The game was there in the first half for the Dallas Mavericks, right? I think if Kyrie would have found a way to be more effective, like through the second quarter, he went 1 of 5. And what was that? They lost the second quarter 23-29. The first quarter, they were up 28-25. And so it's just little things like that. Like the second quarter could have been the difference in this game. Right? Because the game could have been a little bit tighter down the stretch. Some of those plays might have looked a little bit different. But Kyrie really came up short. And I guess for me, the takeaway is, and we were talking about it last night, it's the fact that the Boston Celtics have not lost to this team since March 13, 2022. It's June 10, 2024. It's been over 2 years. And I think we got bullied by the narrative. Right? Everybody was all up in arms about Luka. He's been so spectacular. His playoff run, all of his scoring, everything. I mean, he's been great. And then, we got the two best duos. Stan Van Gundy was talking about this might be the greatest offensive duo, the greatest closers. And we forget that haven't beat them this year, haven't beat them the year before, haven't beat them in the playoffs so far in the finals, and it's been since March 13, 2022. And like like I was saying last night, both of these wins came off of game-winning shots. It's not like they won handedly. It wasn't a dominant victory. They barely won. Luka bailed them out, which I guess is a sign in the sense of if the game is close, that Luka has that capability. But, you know, he has that capability against any team. Let's be honest. We saw it against the Minnesota Timberwolves. But you can't rely on that to win 4 games in a series. And when it comes to the mentality, like, think about that. You haven't beat this team in 2 years. Imagine how Boston is feeling. You haven't beat them in 2 years. You haven't beat them in this series yet. They gotta be feeling good. If you give them game 3 in Dallas, they're gonna flirt with a sweep. Because we've seen the Boston Celtics beat them in so many different ways. I mean, shit, 2022, 2023, 125, 112, 124, 95. They're all blowouts. This year, 119, 110. That one's closer. And then 138 to 110. Like, they've won with behind the stars of Tatum and Brown. Their role players have stepped up. They have so many different win conditions, and I think they just have to be super, 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 super confident moving forward. And you know, I think it's kind of a narrative that's gone a little bit under the radar, but here we are. Now, another big topic is Kristaps Porzingis' health. Now, I said it last night. As soon as I saw him running up and down the court, I said it's done. And now they're saying his availability is questionable. I'm going to say it right here. He's done for the finals. Exactly. Yes, exactly. All of them. Even we've seen Al Horford. They were joking about Al Horford because they said the last time he did something like that, he killed Giannis. And we've seen even Al Horford hit big shots. All of them are capable. But moving forward, will Kristaps Porzingis be available? And he had this the little thing that said he'll die out there or some shit. Like, here, he said he'll die out there. All right, let's take a look at this. He said, "I will die out there, brother." No. Let me just be the one to tell you no. Because to me, I think they could do this without him. And the way he was running out there, we saw this with OG. Like, his hamstring, his calf, it's done for him. He already looked hobbled. It didn't look like Jamal Murray, where, you know, Jamal was still able to move. I think you shut him down for the finals, and you just roll the dice without him, because all you're gonna do is risk an injury. When one, I think you could realistically do this without him, and two, he's going to overexert, because if that's already his mentality, I will die out there. Imagine how he's gonna be when there's a block in his way, if he got a dunk. Like, it's like, it is what it is. So I think you just shut him down, because he's going to want to play, and he's going to want to play hard. He's going to want to be out there for his guys. But they got to understand, they have a team right now that can really roll the dice on being in a championship run for multiple years. And to jeopardize that when you have an opponent right now that doesn't look prepared for this moment, doesn't look prepared for this matchup. I think you rest him because you got to think the future moving forward, right? Porzingis is going to have to be healthy in the future because you can run into this team, a better version of this team later on. So not to look too far ahead, right? Not just to write off the Dallas Mavericks, but I think we've seen what this looks like. I think he needs to shut it down because he didn't look good out there. I'll be honest with you. When he was running and moving around, it did not look good at all. And so for not looking good at all, I don't know if you guys saw the pregame when Shaq was talking to Jaylen Brown, but I caught this man lying. On national TV. Where is this shit? I caught this man lying on national TV, bro. And this is when they were talking about this is a while ago. They were talking about Kevin Durant and quote unquote driving the bus. So this is what they were saying before, and then there'll be a clip of what Shaq said last night.
Is Kevin Durant a great player? He is, and he's been stifled by Boston.
And
I was going to go there.
And let me tell you something. I don't want to badmouth the dude, but I see you guys always talk about that championship stuff. I try to tell y'all, all these bus riders, they don't mean nothing to me. If you ain't driving the bus, don't walk around talking about you're a champion. If you riding the bus, I don't want to hear it. Come on, Shaq, tell them. All these guys walk around with these championship rings. Hey, y'all bus riders. But let me tell you something. 2 in a row, Chuck. When you the bus driver and you got all that pressure where you have to play well or you're going to get the blame, that's a different animal.
So that's what he had to say. Where the fuck is this other one? So that's what he had to say in that moment, obviously, right? That was what Barkley had to say in that moment. And we saw how, oh, it's right here. Cool. And we saw how how Charles Barkley felt about that, right? So now let's see what Shaq had to say.
Do not get fixated on useless titles. Do what you got to do. Doesn't matter who's who or they say who's what. It ain't time for all that right now. Do what you got to do and get it done.
I understand. Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
That made sense to you?
No.
Okay.
Okay, well, let me break it down. They're trying to separate you and your guy by saying who's better and who better. I'm saying don't worry about useless titles. Who's the man? Don't matter who the man is. Kobe's the man, Shaq the man. It don't matter. I'm getting my 40. Kobe getting his 39. Let's go win these championships.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what that meant.
So if anyone has seen Inside the NBA, if anyone has seen they talk about the main guy. We just saw Barkley talking about who's the bus driver, which first of all, I love these guys because I grew up watching them on, talking about basketball. But on that Houston Rockets team in the 90s, when Charles Barkley decided to join them with Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, and even Scottie Pippen all joined when Charles Barkley joined that team. If they would have won a championship, don't you think Barkley would be walking around talking about, I'm an NBA champion? Right? So let's call it what it is, right? You're creating this narrative because he doesn't like Kevin Durant. He's never liked Kevin Durant. Right? And that this was another narrative that they were pushing. The bus driver, who's pushing the bus driver, who's driving the bus driver, all of this stuff. for Shaq to say, oh, none of that stuff matters. He even went on to say that he actually wasn't the best player on those Lakers teams. And all of a sudden it doesn't matter? After all the years that you guys have pushed this narrative. I mean, we know what it is, right? We know Jayson Tatum is the best player, but we also understand that though nothing happened without the other one. We could talk, and they could talk about that Golden State Warriors team all they want. They don't win those championships without Kevin Durant. So he did have a blank ass face. So like I don't, and I saw somebody say he maybe this is his paying respects to Kobe or whatnot. Whatever the reason or the case is, you guys have killed people for this and are turning around and all of a sudden switching the whole narrative as if you didn't say that shit before. That's just like you gotta own up to that shit, man. Like, which way is it? Which way is it? Because one second you're saying, oh, don't walk around like you a champion if you ain't ride the bus. But then you over here applauding Robert Horry and Steve Kerr. Like, what the fuck? Like, all right, man. But, these guys, some of these guys, they just been around for so long that I think they forget some of the shit that they say because they're older now. But just to hear that, I was like, wait a second. You were saying some other shit just before. Like not giving the dude his respect. As if he wasn't the reason why they won that title. And yeah, so for me, that was unfortunate. And I guess to kind of further this Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown conversation. Since when? I could actually tell you since when, but since when was it a bad thing to average to almost average a triple double? Because through the finals, where is it? What's the stats right here? Because through the NBA Finals right now, Jayson Tatum is averaging 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 8.5 assists a game. He's shooting awful. Don't get me wrong. He's shooting awful. But for people to act like he is not playing well, like you must not be watching the game. To pretend like Jaylen Brown would be doing what he's doing without a Jayson Tatum on the floor. To act like Drew Holiday and Derek White wouldn't be doing what they're doing without a Jayson Tatum on the floor is just mind-blowing to me. And I think this is just a narrative that he's going to have to live with because, like I said, it doesn't look like he's going to win Finals MVP. And he's going to get killed for it over the summer. But it's on them as a team to really buckle down and go on a run because they have a team for it. Also, I think it's ironic how these conversations come up as if we didn't watch who the best player was for, let's call it 80% of the year, right? Let's call the regular season for a team like the Boston Celtics 80% of the year. the last 20%, these other guys have helped him along. They've stepped above and beyond and have helped him along. But to discredit the fact that this man has been their best player for years is mind-blowing to me. And I was seeing all this stuff about like the Jayson Tatum hate, and I thought that maybe it was just like, I thought maybe it was some bullshit. But hey, I gotta say, man, like the more I see it, the more true it looks. Cause they hate this dude, bro. Like he cannot catch a break. And it's unfortunate because everyone knows what he does for this team. And they give credit all around, but to act as if he's not doing the things that he's doing, demanding double teams. We've seen him score 30 plus a game. We've seen this, right? And funny enough, we're seeing it in real time. The duality of it, right? We're seeing Luka Doncic have big scoring nights and not get assists, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, look at Luka! He's playing fucking phenomenal! Look at all the shots he's hitting! Oh my God, look at the fadeaway! Luka!" And they're down 2-0. And then you look on the other side, and we look at their best player take what the defense is giving them, stay aggressive in order to get everyone else involved. Fuck his shots. He takes shots when he can. He's jeopardized his statistics in order to win, and we are shitting on that. Or not we, but people are shitting on that. Because he's not scoring 30 points a game. But his team is now up 2-0. So we're going to ignore the fact that we've obviously watched him carry this team. So they're going to double team him because he's their best player. And we're going to see if everyone else can beat us. And they have shown that they can because they're a great team. And we're still shitting on Jayson Tatum. But hey, it is what it is, man. Like what I've come to learn watching the NBA for 20 some odd years is it really is a sport of narratives, right? They get spun and they're going to continue to get spun. But you got to be able to decipher what's actually happening, to see what's going on in the image, right? And this don't take anything away from Jayson Tatum, in my opinion. Whether he wins or doesn't win the finals MVP. Now, let's take a look at the Dallas Mavericks side, because despite them being down 2-0, I do think that there are some positives that we could take away from this. The first being that stretch in the second quarter where we saw Luka off the ball get catches and make shots. Kyrie Irving would bring the ball up and Luka's first touch comes off of a screen. And we saw him in that isolation situation able to get off good shots, because even though it's a great defender, they're playing catch up while Luka gets to make his first move. And when you're slow as fuck like Luka, that is all that you need. Like, let's be honest. When you have the guy in front of you and they're quicker than you, now you got to hit a million different moves. You got to hezzy the hezzy. That's why we saw that move that he hit on Tatum. He hezzied like 4 different times just to get one shot off. And so when he's off of the ball, we saw some good things happen. Like we saw, where's this shit? Like, when is the last time you saw a corner 3 from Luka? Luka hit a corner 3 and I was mind blown. I was like, wait a second. When do we ever see Luka Doncic hit corner 3-pointers? But they're running actions for him to get him some easier baskets. Where is this? And I'm trying to find it. It's tough to find right now. Oh, right here. 8. Like you saw, like you could see Brown right there. Like Brown is so used to, he's so used to Luka popping to this wing because that's where they can initiate pick and rolls going towards the middle of the basket, that when he flashes corner, he's like, wait, what the fuck? You could tell he going that way, and he's like, wait, what? And Luka gets a shot because he don't ever shoot from there. So we obviously saw the Dallas Mavericks, doing some things that they don't typically do. We saw this action as well too, which was the pick into a repick. We saw Lively pick, turn right around and pick him again. And obviously Luka has been hot already, and they chose to trap this for whatever reason, and this is what happens. So they're adding in some different actions to give Luka some shots. Yes, he did get some shots in transition. I do agree. PJ was it looked like he was being more aggressive off the dribble as well, consistently. But like I said, the off the ball stuff is really helping Luka out on getting shots. And in the second half, we saw some scenarios where, they were able to get the pick and roll going and get some easy dunks. But at the end of it, we saw Luka end up with only, how many assists is it? With 11 assists. And honestly, it probably could have been more. But looking ahead to some adjustments that they could potentially make. And it starts for me with Kyrie Irving. I think if there's someone that you need to start allowing to attack from half court, it has to be Kyrie. Kyrie needs to start bringing the ball up more, especially in transition, because I think that he has more speed, obviously, than Luka, and can hit these gaps a lot faster than him. So now it creates scramble situations for the Boston Celtics, right? And where's the, I don't know if I have it here. But when Kyrie's been playing one-on-one, they're able to body up on him. They're able to minimize the things that he does, right? So if you now give him space between him and his defender, he can try to hit dribble moves, hit him with combos to now try to set up some space now, right? And then when he gets past that defender, now he has space in the mid-range to either get a shot off or assess whether he's going to get a pass off or whatnot. But initiating offense for Kyrie higher so that he can get more into his combos, and also having some pick and rolls come for him higher as well too. Let Luka be the corner guy sometimes. Let Luka be the slot guy, because what'll happen is if Luka's the corner guy, there's going to be instances where Boston is just going to be rotating and they're going to forget about him. And that's going to come from Kyrie attacking. And it'll also allow Luka to get a little bit of rest. You know, he has the task of being the primary ball handler, and they're attacking him on defense. So I think you have to now try to get someone else to make plays with the ball. The other thing that they could do, and they've already been doing it, is I think Gafford and Lively have to play a little bit less. Matthew Kleber, or Maxi Kleber, right? I said Matthew Kleber, bro. Maxi Kleber has been effective, and I think that they need him to open up the paint so that Luka and Kyrie can get into when they drive, it's just a one-on-one, and the help can't come from anywhere. And I think that will give them a much better chance of getting good buckets consistently. Add that to some off-the-ball stuff for Luka, and even a little bit for Kyrie, because they've been playing defense. They've been giving him hell on defense. So look for some of that. Look for Jason Kidd to try to force Boston into scramble situations, because you got to think this, right? They're going to be in Dallas, and they're probably going to blow the whistle in Dallas's favor a little bit more. And with that, if you're forcing the Boston Celtics in scramble situations, meaning if they're chasing off of a rip screen, if you have down picks for Luka and Kyrie, and now the defense is not stationary, when they make these dribble moves and create contact, the chances of drawing fouls, I think, are going to be higher. And, you know, that I think is just a small adjustment that Jason Kidd can make. They've already started it a little bit. They're going to have 2 days to refine some of these sets a little bit more, touch up on it a little bit more, and I think they're going to be well prepared going into Game 3. So I do think that the Dallas Mavericks have a great chance of winning Game 3 and trying to make this into a series. Because I think Jason Kidd has probably seen some things that he can adjust. He's probably seen Kleber working out a little bit. This lineup with Luka, Kyrie, Josh Green, Derrick Jones Jr., and Kleber was working pretty well in the first half, I feel like. They were playing a lot quicker. And just making plays, just playing basketball. And so now look for someone like a Peyton Pritchard to come in the game for the Boston Celtics, or a Hauser to come in the game, because now if you have a lineup like, let's say, Drew Holiday, Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown with Hauser and Tatum, now you have a Pritchard who's going to take these guys off of the dribble. He's going to attack all of these guys off the dribble along with everyone else. So look up for those little adjustments, right? I think those are some of the adjustments that we can see. We've already seen, like I said, Jason Kidd make adjustments. I think we're going to see even more. Ironically enough, I think that defensively they're not going to do that much different for the on the Boston Celtics, because I think for them, if you're gonna count on Drew Holiday to get you 26 points and be your leading scorer, that the Mavericks are going to live with that. So the Boston Celtics are going to have a counter. They're going to need to find a counter for that situation. And we'll have to wait and see. We got a couple days between now and Game 3. So we have some more film to watch. We got some more shit to break down. I was going to talk a little bit more about the WNBA. Aja Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces had some things going on against the LA Sparks, but there was just so much going on. I couldn't quite get to everything. But that will do it for me for today. As always, thank you for hanging out, shooting the shit, talking some hoops. Listen to me yap as always. I'm gonna need a fucking thing for me yapping. I'm gonna need something for it. I'll figure it out. But Elijah, as always, thank you for coming and hanging out. And for anyone that watches this, you could have been anywhere on the internet, but you're here with me, and I really appreciate y'all for that. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, because it'll do a lot for the channel. I will be back tomorrow talking some more hoops, but deeper shots in the flow of the offense. You know what? I got you, Elijah. I got something for Kyrie, because I do have some that I want to talk about with him tomorrow. So we'll talk a little bit more about Kyrie tomorrow. But again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Peace.